A new advisory just came out from the U.S. Surgeon General calling for updated health warning labels on alcoholic beverages. Alcohol consumption can increase the risk of cancer, so I want to bring in MD Anderson's head of prevention, Dr. Ernest Hawk. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So I want to ask you first, Dr. Hawk, the link between alcohol and cancer risk isn't new, but in your experience, is it something that you think a lot of people are aware of?
No, and I think that's the point of the Surgeon General's advisory. Only in recent surveys, only about 40 to 45% of the American public realizes the link between alcohol use and cancer. And so the whole point here is to raise the public's awareness so that they can make more informed decisions.
Well, tell us what we know about that risk when you reach for a glass of wine at the end of the night or perhaps a drink at a weekend at a party.
Yeah, well, the first thing is that this is old news. It's been known for roughly 30, almost 40 years that alcohol is a carcinogen that is linked with cancer risk. There is a dose dependency. That is, the more you drink, the higher the risk. But even at low levels of use, one drink per day, the risks are not inconsequential. They can increase a woman's risk for breast cancer, for example, from the population average of 11% to as high as 13, 15%.
You know, a lot of us who maybe were unaware about this link may be thinking, wait a minute, we've heard that there are some health benefits to drinking alcohol. What we've heard about heart health perhaps and red wine. But in your opinion and from the evidence that you've seen, does alcohol have any type of health benefit when you look at the risks and try to balance that out?
Yeah, I understand the question. It is somewhat controversial even in the scientific community. Historically, going back 20 years or so, it was said that red wine in particular and perhaps other forms of alcohol were associated with a reduction in heart attacks and strokes. Now, we've gotten much better at understanding the cause of heart attacks and strokes and reducing the risk of individuals through other means, things like control of blood pressure or cholesterol. And so, whether those old data still hold up in the modern age, I think is really the key question. And most cancer experts believe that the benefits of reducing alcohol on cancer risk would countermeasure any perceived benefit that may exist regarding heart attacks, strokes, cardiovascular events.
Dr. Hawk, how should we think about this risk concerning alcohol, kind of coupled with our lifestyle or family history?
Yeah, well, it is, as a population across all Americans, it is the third leading preventable cause of cancer following tobacco, which is long established and well known by the public, and secondarily, obesity. So, all three of those conditions increase one's risk of cancer. I think this is intended to make people more aware of alcohol and its potential health dangers.
That's what I wanted to ask you. In your line of work, prevention, of course, what's the message you really want to drive home when it comes to alcohol and cancer risk, regardless of the advisory and whether it may or may not, I should say, come into effect?
Well, any level of alcohol use, the data now suggests raises cancer risks, and it does so significantly, at least for oral cancers, mouth cancers, pharyngeal cancers, or throat cancers, as well as breast cancer. There's less data on the full span of the other four types of cancer that have been associated, but the key message really is that no alcohol is best. And if indeed you choose to use alcohol, use it in progressively lower levels, lower doses, lower frequencies.
Important information. Dr. Hawk with MD Anderson, thank you so much for joining us this morning.